Hello, artists, artist wannabes, art lovers, and just in general, YouTubers. Michael Pintar here, residing in Central Florida, USA, starting a new painting on a 24 by 48 stretched canvas gallery wrap. This one, I'm going to put down a coat of gesso with a larger trowel, looking to create some textures and a varied surface to paint on. It'll take about a day or so to dry, but I've done this on a couple other canvases and I really like the variety of texture you can get with this approach. So let's take a look at the finished product here. Really, I think it's cool. Just lay it down, make a couple marks with a trowel, a palette knife, a brush, and leave some raised edges. It could be done with modeling paste. I've used that product once before, but this one, gesso, acrylic gesso. We're ready to go. Let that set up for a day or so. Make sure it's completely dry, and that will allow me to start painting. Okay, let's move on to the next step. I had no preconceived notion on really where this painting was going to head. I did have a general design parameter, and that is I wanted to make sure that I could hang it vertically as it's on the easel right now, or I could also hang it horizontally depending on the wall configuration for myself or hopefully a prospective buyer one day. So starting out with some black, a spray bottle, a large brush that I bought from the local hardware store, and just making some generalized marks. I did make some very loose gestural marks with a pencil before putting down some paint, just to kind of free myself from any preconceived notion of where this is going to head. So off we go. We'll get some color out and start painting very soon. So this is the initial result from that black. Just kind of loose, freeing, setting up a couple general tones, putting in some darker spots where I was hoping we'd end up with some darker spots, but all black. And yep, that's kind of the idea if it went horizontal, keeping this in mind as I began painting. The basic palette for this new abstract painting was going to be blues, grays, a couple dashes of some yellow ochre, some gold paint that I bought, iridescent gold, and white. But a couple new colors I introduced along the way. I really had no idea what I was going to do from a design perspective. I shouldn't say that. I had a small sketch, but not sure where the colors were going to head. I just wanted to make sure that we had some harmony and that it wasn't too intrusive with the palette, which I've been known to do in the past and go with some pretty wild colors. But for this one, we're going to keep it pretty simple. All right, that's enough of my chattering. A good splash, and we'll let you guys watch a little bit more. I'll talk to you later. Well, I'm making some progress. Turned the canvas back to horizontal, and my goal at this point was to continue to look for general shapes, see where there might be some patterns, and break some of those larger shapes into smaller pieces, looking for some geometric, asymmetrical coordination. I don't know what the right word is. Something, it just goes together. It's abstract. You try to be creative. You see what's going to happen. It's a lot of experimentation. For me, I really don't know quite what's going to happen. You just put down some marks, wash back some marks, wipe away different marks, layer on different pieces of paint, and some show through, some don't, depending on the color choices. But that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm going with this right now. Is a lot of manipulation, and I'll let you guys keep watching. One of the nice things I found from working on this textured canvas is that the gesso marks sort of help delineate some of the shapes that came out after the paint application. So I use black to outline some of these shapes. Not a common practice of mine, but came in handy for this particular piece as it went very geometric as it progressed. So the bigger shapes had a couple lines within them that I decided to further abstract down into smaller pieces of areas, and then I could put different colors into those pieces if I so chose. But again, it's all experimentation for me. Abstract is a very freeing type of painting. I've done a lot of landscape and portraiture, which is much more technical in the execution. So I find that abstract lets me get very creative with how the painting is going to turn out, the direction it can take, and just really go at it from a lot of different angles that I might not be able to do with different styles of paint.
All right, all right. Well, we've gotten to a point where, hey, it's looking like something. This is where I started. Had a couple of sketches, a couple ideas. I went with this one. I wanted it to work this way, horizontally. That where we're at horizontally. Back up here a little bit. Come on. 2448. So we got that way. And then I wanted it to also work vertically. So here it is vertically. What was new for me was, new for me anyway, old school, putting in this texture with the gesso and then letting it lay where it lay and see what happens. And that's some pretty cool marks that came out of it just from the gesso. So, hey, fun, having fun down here in Florida. Started at 8:30 this morning, wrapped it up at 11:30, came back and dibble-dabbled a little bit, broke up some of the paint in this area right here. Who knows what'll happen tonight when I wake up tomorrow morning. Anyway, that's that one. Which way do you want to go with it? That way? This way? Anyway, thanks for watching. It's Mike Pintar. See ya.